Hello and welcome to Ferrari Formula One on the Commodore 64. Now, this was quite a highly regarded Amiga Formula One simulator for its time. Obviously, it predates Formula One Grand Prix, and in that respect, it's not as good, certainly not as good as that game. But let's take a look. Right, now this I mean, it's a fairly accurate conversion of the Amiga version in terms of all the menus and all the extra presentation screens and all the tinkering you can do with the car. But unfortunately, let's just. I'm just trying to know how to play the game. Now it tries to emulate a full season of Formula One and all the testing that goes with it, so it's quite ambitious from that point of view. I won't bother setting time or anything like that. Let's just dive in. It's quite ambitious from that point of view, but whereas the Amiga version, well, we'll come the Amiga version. Let's have a look. In fact, let's have a look at what we can do. So we're in the pits at the moment. We can click on various icons on the garage. This will take us to various screens where we can sync with the car. So this is this is where we can do some testing in the wind tunnel. I can't remember exactly how to do it. You get the idea. I'm just flicking through these because I can't really remember very much how to play them. You can go in the garage and adjust your setup as well. So it's quite pick the tyres and things like that. You can see it's quite a comprehensive game as far as this, this side of it's concerned. And it's not immediately obvious what you can click on. I think if you obviously you've got to read the manual to get anything out of this game, and I'm just whizzing through it. We'll just leave the tyres as they were. I think we'll just exit the garage if we can. Now, unfortunately, the game's quite a very hefty multi-loads. I mean, I'm playing it on an emulator where the loading's not too bad, but I mean, it takes up 2 sides of disc. Now, this also had, would you believe, a cassette release, which I've never played and never will. And I mean, who knows what that's like? I can't imagine it being very playable on cassette. It must take a long time to set up anything. It's either that or it's been trimmed down a little bit, but if I remember, it wasn't. If I remember reading the review, it wasn't actually that trimmed down. Right, here we are at the core of the game. Now, this is obviously where the game takes a turn for the worse, because as you can see, what is this fucking shit? I mean, if you remember my review of Grand Prix Circuit, I praised it for its fairly realistic looking road routine, but I slammed it a little bit for its speed. But compared to this, I mean it's almost like super cycle speed compared to this. What? I mean, I've spun the car, I think. What is this shit? I think I might have actually wrecked the car. Let's flip the disc. Let's go back out. And here we are in the car again, and we're off. Let's try and get around the track about this time. Now, listen to that engine sound. I have no idea what it's supposed to be. Now, there is an attempt here to have a reasonably convincing road perspective, but unfortunately the speed of the game and the response of the controls is just horrendous. I mean, this is a Formula One car. It's supposed to be a twitchy car that you just touch the steering wheel, you know, and it flies round corners. But I mean, this is just pathetic. It's just jerky, unresponsive. This is one of these games that you know, should never have been attempted. On the Amiga, I mean, the graphics are quite a bit better on the Amiga, and you can control it with the mouse, which helps, I think. But this is just fucking terrible. I mean, is this a convincing depiction of Formula One? I think the answer to that is no. I mean, surely... I mean, I admire programmers, you know, with ambitious ideas, and they have a stab at converting things, or a stab at programming, difficult, or taking on difficult assignments. But this is just, it's just shouldn't have even been considered. It's just horrendous. I mean, the programmers have also done what the hardest to produce an accurate version of the Amiga version, but the 64 just does not have the processing power required for something like this. So, regardless of all the extra presentation stuff and all the in-game tweaks that you can do to the car, and they are quite comprehensive. I mean, more comprehensive than Formula One Grand Prix. I mean, that doesn't have a wind tunnel, you know, and there's more to the game I haven't shown you, for sure. But it doesn't matter, you can have all that, but it's no use if the in-game driving scene is as woeful as this is, I'm afraid. Well, I've managed to stay on the track for a record amount of time, I think. And this is without any cars or any opposition cars on the screen. Can you imagine how slow this must run with other cars on the screen? I could probably show you if I could be bothered to wade through the menus to get that up and running, but I mean, look at the in-car display. It doesn't even show you what speed you're going at. You don't have a fucking clue. There's just two bars. One's speed and one's rest, presumably. And the countdown is, I think, is for fuel. No, I can't play any more of that. I mean, this is shit. It's an ambitious effort, and you know, my hat's off to the development team for attempting it. And I'm sure that they've done the best they can, but it was beyond what the 64 could do. So you know, I'm giving this. I mean, I'll give it 2 out of 10. Now that's just because if you were a Formula One fan at the time, it might have been interesting to tinker with the car and all that technical side of it. And I'm sure the manual is full of useful. It's quite an interesting read. But the gameplay itself, just shite. Absolute shite. So yeah, 2 out of 10.